I am back today with the Astra VXR. We're going to be fitting something that I don't really like that much, to be honest, but it's got to be done because now we're running the Pulsar PSR 4849G Turbo. We need to try and keep this area as cool as possible. So what are we talking about today? That's right, we're talking about bonnet vents. Now, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of these things, but they are a necessity when you need to get heat dispersion out of that bonnet as quick as possible. So what are we looking at here? These are, I believe, they're Amazon or eBay specials. They cost me about 15 quid. Now, they do a smaller one, which Reese has fitted on his VXR, and no offense Reese, they look pants, and whoever fitted them didn't fit them properly. They cut the crap out of them with a pair of scissors, I think. So yeah, they don't fit the best on his. Now these ones are a bit bigger. They do seem to sit quite nice on the car. Whether they look any good when they're done is a different thing, but once again, like I said, these are a necessity due to the turbo and obviously all the heat that we are creating under the bonnet, which I'm going to show you now what we're working with. So under this bonnet is the big Pulsar PSR 4849G on the truss manifold. So we do get a lot of heat coming through here. You want some cool air going in, so it's got to come in and it's got to come out somewhere. Otherwise, it's just turbulent air, just keeps the hot air under the bonnet. So once again, you need to try and just get it out of there as quick as possible. I have had a look online and done some research into where the best place to put vents are. There is a way to test this, but I can't test this because I'm not a scientist. I'm not that clued up on scientific things, but I'm going to try and do my best to explain to you what I'm going to try to do with it. So what I've done is just measure there to there, and obviously you got your side to your side. I've also gone from these points here. It's really hard to measure them up, obviously, to get the two to match. So what I've done now is just I've actually put masking tape around them. What I'm going to do is cut the masking tape at the edge here, and then obviously across the bottom there, just to give me a line. I'm going to refit. I'm going to obviously just mask the hole underneath of it there. And what I should have really done, what I would advise you guys to do, is mask underneath it first. At least then you can just draw around it. But like I said, I'm just going to mask them up like I've done, trim them out now so that there's the perfect mask is there. Put them on, mask in, then you've got to come in obviously around 10mm just there so you can get your cut. Now I should be okay with this. I'm going to prop the bonnet up. I'm going to put some cloth underneath, some sheets, and I'm going to trim them on the bonnet. Now a lot of people would say, no, take the bonnet off. Yeah, I ain't going cutting stuff out there. Electric and water is not the best mix, and I'm not kicking the car out. So yeah, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to do it on the car. So yeah, we'll take them off and mask them up and see where we're at. So I know a lot of people hate these things. What I've done is flip them to do this. We have to do this because I need to get some of this hot air out of this engine bay. So I've done, these are obviously not, well, they're sided, so you go one that way and obviously the other one goes the other way. So obviously flip them around, use them on the wrong side. Now what I've done is draw around them, remeasured it again just to make sure I'm happy. I am. Like we said, there's about a 10mm lip, so you draw around the outside. You've now got to draw a line on the inside to give us that 10mm. Do not cut around that, otherwise these will just fall straight through. So yeah, there we go, there's our actual outline. Draw around that now. I'm going to mask up then a little bit more around the outside there just to protect the bonnet and the vinyl against the sword I'm about to rip through it. And I'll show you what that is in a sec. Just going to draw around that one next. So now I've mocked up roughly where they're going. As you can see, the side, I have measured and measured and measured because I do want them to be as equal as possible. I don't want one looking like that. It's like over there and the other one's over there somewhere. So yeah, I've measured tops, sides, so they should be pretty much bang on there. I have got to come in 10mm, as I said, on these lines. I've just found some more masking tape which I thought was running out of. One thing I do want to point out, guys, if you've got a nice garage and it's cold all the time, this is a little JML handy heater. I'm not sponsored by them, I'm not running with them. It was about 30 quid, which my father bought, and you haven't even seen yet because I've had it out here. I left it out here for about half an hour and it's already nice and warm in here, so for a small space, definitely get one of them. Anyway, back to the task at hand. So obviously air goes in through the bumper and travels into the bonnet. Now the way I try to work it out is try and get them as far back as possible. Once again, I might be completely wrong with this, but this is how I've tried to interpret it. So to get the air through, away from the manifold, through the vents. Obviously you've got a vent comes back here, so it'll try and disperse as best as possible. Now, like I said, there is a scientific way to do it. I ain't that good at that stuff, so I've just gone for what I think will be the best for this setup that we got. I'm probably gonna have to get the decals redone. It does cut into the TTC logo and a little bit into the Design Studio logo, but once again, I'm really out of options at the moment. I've got to do this, so yeah, let's see what we're going to be using. Now, being that this is my first time doing vents, I've learned something new. In the last shot, you'd have seen that those were further up, the vents were further back. Now, problem I just realised before, like, this is why you just double check, triple check everything you're doing, right? If I'd have cut that, I'd have had to try and cut into this, which looks like it's more of a support than just a double skin. So what I've done is move them back so I can just cut this section out here. So I've moved them down, so the line of the vent now comes to about there. So we won't be cutting into, well, it looks like I'm reinforcing bar. We're only cutting into where it's double skinned, and it comes down to here. So once again, always double check what you're doing, have a little look, make sure you're happy where you are, and then redo it. Because after I spent ages lining them all up, I had to move them. Now, one thing you will notice, yes, that is not far from my filter. It's not directly onto it, which is better because I don't want the water running straight into it, which is why I was trying to put them back earlier. But like I said, this is not my daily, and it is kept in the garage 9 times out of 10. You know, I don't really try and take this out in the wet. I will make some caps, and I'll show you the guys that, and I will make some like hose to run it away from any part of it. So once again, that's just something else. I do want the fiberglass bonnet with the big vents in it, but that's 400 odd quid plus painting, or wrapping in my case, plus fitting. I don't want to be spending that at the moment. I've just spent an absolute fortune on this car, and as you'll find out in another video which is coming up, after the dyno we had another problem. Once again, this car just keeps throwing me curveballs, so I haven't even been really able to use it. Me and Reese, once again, massive thanks to Reese. He's a really good friend of mine. He's going up a Saturday. We're getting this down to the car bunker in Newport. I've already booked the ramp for half a day. We've got to take the gearbox off, put it that way. Something I didn't want to do. But hey ho, it is what it is. So anyway, back to the job at hand. I'm going to wrap under the bonnet now. Say wrap under. Put some blanket underneath now. You will see, look at that small blade I'm going to show you in a sec. Will not go anywhere near any of this stuff. So yeah. So yeah, there's everything to protect underneath. I'm going to show you what tool I'm going to use now. Right, I want to say a massive thank you to Einhell. Einhell UK, a friend of mine who now works for them, has sent me a lot of different tools which I can use, see over there, to help along with the VXR build and other builds we got going on the channel. Some of the gear is absolutely quality. Do you know what I mean? I got to be honest. The touch point and everything. This is the Einhell Professional range, which has just been launched in the UK. They used to sell the DIY stuff, but now the professional range is just another level up. So we're going to be using this small cutter today. It's a 76mm wheel. Once again, it just feels really good quality, and that depth there, as you can see, I can do it on the bonnet because it's only just going to be cutting through, which will also cut the double layer. So another perfect tool for the job. Once again, big thanks to Einhell UK for helping us out with these builds that we're doing on the channel. We are going to be working with them a lot in the future with different products and stuff coming out. We're going to be testing. My first time using this, I've used one of their lights so far. Carl sent me a light bar. It's phenomenal. Even Reese came up the other day and we had to put a master cylinder on the clutch, and he was just like, wow, this is really good quality. So yeah, now I've marked everything up, it's time to get it cutting. I'm going to double check everything again. No, just once again, always measure 2 or 3 times, cut once, because this is, I'm going to need a new bonnet otherwise, and I don't want that. So I'm going to have to set you up by here, because Drew got all the good stuff, filming his pieces of crap. But anyway, ooh, this is nice. So yeah, I'm just going to start chopping, obviously the inside line, because we've come in 10mm. Woohoo! Now that's sliced through there nice and easily. I just want to double check. Yep, that's come straight through. I've got a fire extinguisher over there just in case we need it. So yeah, this is quite scary. If it was Drew's car, we wouldn't give a crap. But it's not, it's mine. So anyway, safety first. This is scary, man. Just cutting into my bonnet like doing this is no going back now. So yeah. So yeah, I made one little boo-boo, which is still okay because we're in the line there. Like I said, guys, this is the first time I've ever done this, so please bear with me. I'm going to make a couple of little errors, no doubt, but luckily we can get away with that one. So yeah, I'm going to get the next tool out for the job from Einhell, which is, so my front door just went, just make sure, nope, that's okay. So I just want to make show you guys this. This is an Einhell jigsaw. There's bloody weight on it. I didn't even get the battery on it yet. So we've got the Einhell jigsaw. Now I'm going to use the jigsaw just to try and get these fine little bits done, just so it looks a bit neater underneath. Once again, yes, I have made a boo-boo. The good thing about these Einhell products is all the batteries are interchangeable. So if you get a bunch of batteries, like we've been sent this lovely battery charger pack, one battery fits all. And they got the indicator light on as well, so you can check exactly how much power you've got. So, you know, we've used that little saw. We've got a nice cutter as well off them there. For jobs just like this. So yeah, I'm going to try and attempt now to jigsaw these corner bits. You have to bear with me. I'll try and put the camera somewhere tidy, but like I said, I haven't got nothing really here at the moment, but I'll do my best. First one cut in. Like I said, luckily, I'm going to show you actually because you're not going to leave me. Where I put the vent on, you cannot see where I just went slightly over. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. So they fit really well. Obviously when you measure them up well. But I'm going to do the corners. Once again, this is a learning day for me. I am not... I work in a printing place, do you mean? I print labels. So, you know, our car stuff, everything that we've learned on the way. Everything I've learned off my dad, he used to be a mechanic. But yeah, this is, like I said, me and Drew learning as we go. Because no doubt, he lets me do this stuff first, and then he's going to want me to do them on his. So, I'm going to charge you a lot of money for this, man. This is a nightmare. But yeah, what we got to try and figure out next is I have to figure out how to tidy that up there. I'm going to obviously paint this in. This needs bending back up because... oh, there we go. Nice. So yeah, I'm going to do the corners this side first. Because the problem I had when I put the jigsaw into it, it bounced and then dented the bonnet. Luckily, it's okay. I bent it back in, and where it punched it, it's going to be covered by the vent anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, if I do the corners first with the jigsaw and then just run the circular up there, you can probably just use a jigsaw. I want to use tools because we've had them given to us, and that, I gotta be honest, that cutter, the circular saw, it just runs straight through it and it's nice to use. So I'll use the jigsaw on this corner, and then, like I said, we'll bang that one out as well. So I'm just going to run a circular into the corners, either corner, just so I can get the jigsaw in just to trim it, and then use the circular just to get through the rest of it. Got to use this first because obviously you can't get the jigsaw through it, otherwise you've got to drill and all the rest of it. So, oh, would help for the battery on. There we have it. Number 2, cut. Lovely. And now it's on the floor. Well done. Yeah, so I'm going to try and tidy this up now. As I said, that edge just looks a little bit neater than the other one. I'm going to do the same over there. I'm going to try and bond that in. Change bond. And try and make sure that's a bit more sturdy. Like I said, if I can put something in there and just bond it in, just to hold that. It's a bit flimsy there, whereas this side has something in there which stops it dancing. So yeah, it's time to tidy it up and see if we can get them tiger sealed in. That's the edges painted and filed down nicely. I just literally used a flat file, sorted them all out. And like I said, the good thing is I'm actually going to tiger seal these to the vinyl. So we are going to probably change the bonnet at some point, as in vinyl work, because I have chopped into there, and just that line there, unless you can just run the lines through them, which is even better. So next step is tiger sealing. I have some tiger seal which is open. I'm going to put some gloves on for this though, because if anybody who has used tiger seal knows it is a pain when it gets on your hands because you can't get it off. I have noticed, like I was saying, this is solid, this side and this side. It's a bit flimsy over here because I don't know what was there, like a brace of some sort, so that moves quite a bit. So I'm going to whack some tiger seal in there to try and cushion that a bit and obviously stop the flex in this corner. So yeah, I'm going to whack some in there, like I said, just to take up a bit of that slack. It don't affect it when the vent's on it anyway. It does seem to stop it moving as much, but either way, just chuck some in, it won't hurt, will it? Got them in, using some Einhell batteries to hold it down. So, because you've got a slight curvature to the bonnet, you've got to, yeah, just obviously get some weights on there just to try and hold it down on each corner. Now this does seem to be working okay. Yep, that's fine. I've had to wipe this side because tiger seal gets everywhere. This side I was quite lucky with. I've measured it because obviously they do sit, got a bit of movement in them, so I've once again got the tape measure out, or the ruler, and measured them up, make sure that they are sat exactly where they should be on there. I say exactly, it's probably going to be a few mil out, but I just want it, obviously when you look at it visually, it's got to look right. So let them set, and we'll check back in. So that is the bonnet vents fitted. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan, but they are going to be effective in getting this heat dispersion out. You do need a good clean and tidy up. Obviously under here as well, I'm going to clean up all this tiger seal, just to neaten it up a bit, but they don't really look that bad actually from underneath. So first off, I just lifted the bonnet and had a look. So I can get this out of the way now and show you guys. Just trying to keep all this metal together and throw this out then. There we go. Get rid of that sheet. So yeah, there we go. It's all clean and tidy. Well, it's not. I need to give it a good a good clean now and sort it all out. But either way, yes, there it is. A bit of a thing. I'm going to have to get the airline in it to clean it up. But yeah, overall, not a bad little job, considering I've never done it before. So where's the... Oh, the intake is literally right by there on this one. So you should have some nice turbo noises coming from it now as well. Yeah. That's a good clean and tidy up. It's hard to get shots of it in the garage because obviously you've only got certain angles to work with. But yeah, you can see from there, you've got airflow coming in from the front end. So like I said, that should take the hot air out of there and hopefully help with the turbo. But yeah, that'll do it for today. I guarantee Drew's going to want something like this done at some point. Maybe not vents, but I'm going to have to cut into his stuff, which I love doing anyway. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that hype button, and we'll see you in the next one. Boom!